So for this project, our chain is crocheted in multiples of 16 plus 2. If you want the same size blanket that I made, you're going to need to crochet 114 stitches, which is 7 multiples of 16 plus 2. But again, you can resize that, just, be mindful of your multiples. For row 1, in the second stitch from your hook, so skip the first one, you're going to crochet 2 single crochets into that same stitch. You're going to follow it up by crocheting 7 single crochets into each of the next 7 stitches. Once you've crocheted your 7 single crochets, you're going to skip 1. And I know here in the video, it looks like I'm skipping 2 because I am. I messed up. Skip 1, just 1. We'll skip 2 later on in the video, but for this first row, skip 1 stitch and then crochet 7 single crochets into the following 7 stitches. So 1 in each stitch. In the next stitch, we're going to crochet 3 single crochets into that same one. This is going to give us the top point of the chevron. So with the skip stitch, that gives us the bottom point, and then this crochet 3 together will give us the top point. Follow that up with 7 single crochets, and then you're just going to keep repeating this pattern throughout the rest of the row. And that'll be the 7-1, 7-3 sequence that we were crocheting just a second ago. When you get to the last stitch of the row, you're going to single crochet 2 into that same stitch. And then I'll give you a look at what our fabric looks like so far. So you're starting to see the points of the chevron developing. So we're going to expand on that for row number 2. Row number 2 begins with a chain 1. You're going to turn your work around. So we're going to skip the chain on all of these, and we're going to work into that first stitch of the row. Now, from here on out, we're going to be working with the front leg of the stitch, which is this one right here. The only exceptions are the first 2 single crochets at the beginning of the row and the point of 3. That one needs a little bit more support for the stitch, so you're going to be using the full stitch as opposed to just the front leg of the stitch. So begin with that 2 single crochet in the first stitch and 7 single crochets until you get to the bottom point. You're going to skip 2 this time. So from here on out, you are skipping 2. And then do another 7 single crochets until we get to the top point of the chevron, where we will crochet 3 single crochets on that top point stitch. When you reach the final stitch of the row, you're going to single crochet 2 into that same stitch. Then you're going to chain 1, turn your work around, and begin again. From here on out, you're going to be doing row 2 repeats until you reach the length that you want for your blanket. Now, for those of you that want to do the uneven stripes and the color switches the same way that I did for my blanket, here is the list of the number of rows I did in each color. So if you're going to do this same color sequence, you need 1 more row of gold, and then you're going to switch to the ivory color. To switch your yarn color, get to the last stitch of the row. You're going to do 1 single crochet. And on your second single crochet, you're going to yarn over and pull up a loop like you see here. And then you're going to pull through with your new color. So if you need to, watch that section a few more times, it's just the first single crochet and the second single crochet is your color switch. From then on out, you just repeat row 2. So you start with your 2 single crochets now in your new color, and then 7, 7, 2, 7, 3, so forth and so on until you complete your row. Very last row you crochet, you're going to do 1 single crochet at the beginning of the row and 1 at the end. So far we've been doing 2 and 2. For that last row, it's just 1 on each. And because we're super cool and did a whole bunch of color changes, now we have a ton of tail ends to weave in. So go through, weave all of those in, and you're left with a gorgeous baby blanket. Thank you so much for hanging out. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them down in the comment section below. Shoot me an email, send me a carrier pigeon, whatever you want to do. Check out the free pattern. It's on modebespoke.com. The link is in the description box below. And I'll see you in the next tutorial.